I really like Beyond Blunderdome. I think this is a great start to the 11th season of The Simpsons. It's the first episode. And the reason I like it quite simply is because something I've mentioned before, I like shows about films and television. And this is exactly what we get. This was released, as I said, the first episode of the 11th season, directed by Stephen Dean Moore. And it's got 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb, which for The Simpsons in general is low, but for the last few seasons is about average. I rate it a little bit more highly. We have a main guest voice star here, and that's Mel Gibson voicing himself. And while I say he's a guest star, he's actually basically in the entire thing rather than just doing a bit voice like sometimes we get. And the reason he's in this is because Homer gets to go and see a test screening of his new film. And at the end of the test screening, as is the case, people are asked to voice their opinions on what they think of it, and everybody says, I love you, you're amazing, you're Mel Gibson, of course it's fantastic. Homer is the only person to say, I didn't like it. And Mel Gibson thinks, actually, this person is honest. Because I guess by this point he's used to people licking his butt, basically. The sun shines out of his backside, as is often the case when you have a big named star and you think, well, it's your film, it's obviously amazing, and people don't necessarily tell the truth. And Homer is not swayed that way. And Mel Gibson says, well, actually, I need somebody like you to work on my new project because I don't think it's very good, but I can't work out why. I need somebody who's actually willing to tell me the truth. And Homer ends up going to Hollywood. The Simpsons end up going to Hollywood and working with Mel Gibson on this new film. Now, it's great that Homer was willing to tell the truth. It's great that Mel Gibson was able to see that maybe some people give him a lot of praise because of who he is, rather than because of the quality of his films. Not that I'm saying his films are bad, of course, but that's where things end, because after that Homer starts to give really bad advice, and Mel Gibson just goes with it because he thinks, it's a change. Someone's giving me honest feedback. Let's go with it and see what happens. And yeah, things don't necessarily go to plan for the film, but Homer's having a great time. And I love seeing Hollywood in the Simpsons style. That's a lot of fun. The film industry represented in animation is always something I love. So I found it very entertaining, quite funny, very fascinating, and also a bit of a commentary on what it's like to deliver reviews. As somebody who's reviewed over 5,000 films and TV shows over the years, I do sometimes feel like I love this person, can I be critical of their work? And sometimes it's hard to be truthful when your mind is saying, but I love them, how can I say bad things? So I completely get where the film's coming from, or the episode rather is coming from. I had a lot of fun with it, really thoroughly enjoyed it. It might be one of my favourite episodes, and I'm not like a big Mel Gibson fan. In fact, I've seen a surprisingly small amount of his work. If I was a bigger Mel Gibson fan, maybe I would have loved it even more. But honestly, there's nothing specific about it that I would have changed. Everything for me personally worked very well. It got from A to B very effectively, and I rather liked it. So, it may not be the highest rated episode of The Simpsons. And the whole Mr. Smith Goes to Washington parody as well, I thought worked very well. I'm not the most knowledgeable about the film, but I feel like I have to mention that at least once. I liked it. Really thoroughly enjoyed this episode. It may not be the highest rated, but personally, I had a lot of fun with it.